Good morning, local host, and welcome to the Pavlov project. We are on Vercel, we deployed, but we don't have blob going yet, and so we can't effectively upload, process, and download files. So let me show you what's going on. There are a lot of ways to visualize CSV files. For those of you who don't know, what is a CSV file? Let's look. They're pretty simple, comma separated value. So it's these lists of numbers, big long list, comma, comma. So we have three lists in vertical configuration. The first one is time, comma, second one is distance, comma, third one is force, comma. This row, those are all timestamps. This is 2 seconds. Somewhere in there, right? We had negative force at 2 seconds. It was basically 0. Looks like the force goes up to, I don't know. Hard to say. Negative 4, 20. That's a pretty high value. You know, it'd be easier if I could look at this. Let's plot it. Let's just see CSV plotter. Here's one. We'll be looking at Dane HS 304 side 1. Dane HS 304 side 1. Alright. There it is. Fantastic. Oh, it looks like the highest point was 40 newtons force. Well, that's lovely. This is actually pretty nice. For free in browser? Yeah, no trouble. I got nothing to say about this. This is beautiful. And you can actually, I've used this site before, you can drop a bunch of them in, which doesn't seem useful, but it'll animate them for you, one after the other. Pretty nice. My app doesn't do that. My app does something else. App is not also fully functional right now. So hypothetically, you could drop your files in. And I could say, let me just take a gander at these Dane files. Sure. Boop. Great. And then I'm going to take a screenshot of this, and you'll know why in a second. Oh, I'm already using the screenshot. Dang it. Alright, just memorize this for me. Let me write this down. HS 417, HS 304, HS 214. Alright, so those are our raw data files. Choose export control. So we had time and force. Going back, taking a look, showing you. Time, force. Those are the prevailing things in the curve that we care about. Depth, don't worry about that. Color, don't worry about that. Skip rows, 0. We're not skipping any rows. Starts at the top. Family. Well, in this case, we're talking about Dane. That is the family. So there's these different names. These are genetic varieties of wheat. This is a bunch of wheat data. We're talking about trying to prevent crop failure. We're testing different genetic varieties for which ones are the most likely to not fail when wind is applied. Which ones can withstand the most wind. Make sense? Alright, so my types are the ones I wrote down earlier. HS417, so that's a local plot that we tested. It was a replicant of this genetic variety. So these are 3 different places where that same genetic variety was planted. Alright, so if I had multiple genetic varieties, I don't want them diagonal stacked away from each other. I want these compared to each other in the time direction. I want these compared to each other in the depth direction. 2D, line 3D, true gradient. Oh, so we went through all that trouble. And the unfortunate part is, this isn't going to work. Actually, it might. Let's see. The problem is it's running in the back end. Where we were just faffing around, it doesn't actually do anything. But on the other hand, we haven't actually imported main yet. The back end has not been imported. So let's just go ahead and make some changes. User input config. That's us. Copy paste. What's today's date? Year of our Lord I think it's the 24th. Great. 24th. We want to talk about Dane, was it? Sure. And I already have all those written in there. Great. And then what did we say? Diagonal time depth, that's what we said. Line, color per curve. Excellent. So that's one thing I need to fix, is getting stuff triggered from that. And what I would also like to do is just be able to upload these JSON files, save everyone a lot of trouble. Great, save that. Oh, also there's another thing I need, config entry point. The config file is the 24th. Great. Save. So this has been a local project and has locally been producing export files. The web app is going to be less powerful. I can tell you that. We're not going to be able to fit in, like 9 is a high number. It runs on localhost. Generate. It's over here telling me stuff. Oh, darn. Plugin. No attribute. Tick rotation. Show 'em, bitch. Oh, it's so sad. It failed somewhere. Well, we'll get that sorted out. Oh, I think I know why. Let's try again. Let's say 24. Ticks. Export plugin. Well, I don't know. Let's see what we were doing before. Boop, 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 boop. Square columns. Sure. Let's see if that causes an error. Paste. Save. Is it going to re-import main? No, it will not. Oh, hey. It worked this time. That's good. It's thinking, I need a loading bar. Great. You have a completed export file. Download that junk. Let's take a look at what we got. So these are all for the Dane genetic variety. So it's not that complex. It's 9 curves in Dane. Hey, look at that. That looks fancy. What's going on here? Hey, those are those numbers we tried to memorize earlier, but we were smart enough to write down. These are the 3 different genetic varieties. Or no, the 3 replicant plots. What's going on here? So we had a forward test. That's when we push the device forward. Here's a cell. So side 1, side 2, and side 3, those are totally different regions of the plot. How do those regions compare? Were they fairly homogeneous? So this doesn't surprise me that the forward test is different force response. That's probably fallacious there on the front. We honestly not even consider that portion of the data. Honestly, forward tests are garbage, in my opinion. Side tests are where it's at. So 3 different cells with 3 rows of wheat each. So these are 9 cells effectively. So this is all pretty different. Side 1, side 2, side 3. I'd say on the whole, like, maybe Dane HS304 was probably a pretty ugly plot. Probably not that good looking of a plot. It seems to be non-homogeneous. Now its averages are probably about the same as the averages for this other one. What's going on over here? Side 2, side 3. Side 1 did not make it into the chat. I don't know. What do you want to know? What do you want to know? I'm just going to show you everything. What do you want to know? That's the question. What are you going to do with this output file? I don't know. You take it into a meeting. This is fun. This is an export file. You can email this to someone. You can take this home with you. I just think it looks prettier in the flat plot. Is it useful to you? Maybe, maybe not. I like it. I think it's cool. And you can choose different stack options, like the diagonal, the time, the depth, how they line up based on what you want to know. You can choose different color options. I'll show you guys a different color option. We're running localhost, we can do whatever we want. Color per curve, color, bend, gradient. Save. Let's go get some other data actually. What is this garbage? Oh, that's Glee and Jefferson still. Lordy, lordy, look who's 40. Glee and Jefferson. Then why is it reading Dane? Weird. Something's broken. Something's broken. Ah, well. Or Alturus. Or Seahawk. It'll take whatever we give it. That's how it looks. Great. Well, let's go back to the beginning. Homepage. Start over. Delete all files. Let's grab some files. Alturus. Boop. Let's grab some more files. Seahawk. Sure, just random stuff. Just chuck it on in here. What else did we say? Glee, Jefferson, Alturus, Seahawk. Glee, Jefferson. Great. Okay. We got our stack options. Now you'll see the stack option dealio. Choose export controls. This doesn't do anything. This is the same as all this. I like the JSON a lot better. We need to get JSON upload going because no one deserves to type stuff in like this. I'm sorry. No, especially because if you go back, it'll just delete, which is really unfortunate. Generate. This is going to take a second. I need a loading bar. That would kick a lot of ass. So the trouble is, this whole web paradigm is really not ideal for transmitting heavy files like this. Honestly, these are coming down pretty quick. That's the same file. That's the same file. It didn't, oh, there's some broken stuff. I don't know why, because, dang it. Let's take a look here. What should happen is if I'm looking at these Johns, that is what we uploaded. Export. Let's just delete that. Delete. Kill. Is Dane still in there? Boop, 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 boop. I don't think it is. Oh, we got a problem. We have an even bigger problem. There's going to be a temp somewhere in here. Lordy, lordy. You got the temp file? Because that's part's the problem. Alright, well, let's try again. Generate. What if God was one of us? Just a stranger on the bus trying to... Is that... Do my eyes deceive me, or is that the same file name? I think it is. I think we're going to get the exact same thing. See that? Or is that what we had earlier? Oh, let's take a look. Yeah, same shit, different day. And that's a Unix timestamp? Well, actually, the timestamp is based on when you first loaded main. Oh, we need to fix that. Yes, this is a whole new file. It's just giving it the same file name because it's based on when the session starts. That's kind of dumb. But hey, it looks cool. Hey, see, now you can kind of see it's really easy to tell which genetic variety is which. That's nice. This is nice. Okay, so see how this stack is... They're different, right? This is HS103, this one is HS314, and there are no others. But this one, these are both from HS315. Huh, okay. Side 1. Oh, so this, when it says this, underscore dash, I know what that means. That means I hit the same thing 4 times. So you can tell it's the same data and just got weaker and weaker and weaker. So these are over time, force versus time. So they're misaligned for when they hit. But these 3 peaks, that's the same clumps of wheat compared to these 3 peaks. They just got weaker over time. And what probably happened here is this one was closer to the ground, and those ones were a little taller. Or vice versa, and they just got more damage from being closer, and this one got less damaged. Who's to say? Who knows what really happened out there? But that's kind of the idea here, is you get more narrative. You know, if you know your narrative, and instead of writing some complex script on your computer for months on end, I did this for months on end, so you don't have to. Now you get to see everything at once. So this is the color gradient thing, as opposed to shared colors. So the problem, shared colors is great because you can see these stack up pretty easy. So now we can see which curve is which. You know, real simple, like, right? And I can say, hey, what's this blue one back here? That's a tall thing. Hey, that's this one back here. Great, love it. I made it so that if there's any stack in that direction, then the titles will only be viewed from an aerial view. So we can only see these words, Jefferson, HS315, side 1, from the top. We can't see it from the side. But if there was absolutely no stacking in this direction, then we would be able to see it from the side. Oh, this is a lot of work that I've done, y'all. And to be really honest, I'm a bit disjointed about it. So I don't know if people are going to like it. I see there's a lot of opportunity here, especially running locally. These FBX files are kind of heavy. I mean, it's just an outdated technology. You know, GLB is the way to go if you want to produce files, and something like Babylon.js that'll run on web is a lot more, frankly, powerful for. Like, you don't have to do this paradigm of upload stuff, download stuff. You can just have a rich, immersive environment in browser, and you know, this is kind of a bit of a hack, right? Everything here is a mesh. We can look at this one by itself, right? And we can see its data. And what's great about all that is we can see the data of every single data point. And we can look at the text by themselves. Boop. That's what we call text. Even though, oh, that's all text. Yeah, good. So those are our mins and our maxes. So those are separated out. And we can look at our axes if we care to look at our axes. And these all have little labels on them. That knows that that's 8.75 seconds. And we can say, hey, what was the max force here? Well, it knows it's 16.5. So if we show everything, show all, you'll see, hey, 16.5, it's labeled. Fantastic. Y'all, this is years of my life in the making, and I'm just kind of nervous that, like, people ain't going to find a use for it. Like, this helped me in my research. Well, it would have, you know, but it's kind of thing, it's like, are people going to be able to find it if they need it? And there have been times where I've looked at these models and I just thought, dang, that's the coolest thing. But are other people going to feel that way? Because I don't always feel that way. I feel that way sometimes, not all the time. There are different styles too. You can make different geometries. I tried to show you all the line type. It's broken right now. So this is just like a two-dimensional thing, but you can also have three-dimensional. And kind of one of the big selling points of when I started dumping time into this was that we could do it for like 7 dimensions at once. Like you could have, like, you know, three-dimensional curve. Like, let's see, let's just isolate this junk. Okay, just him by himself. Alright, so this is 2D, right? 2 dimensions. So imagine if there was a third dimension, like we can see like a mountain bike trail. Imagine if we were gonna, you know, plot a whole other dimension, and then we make color a dimension on top of that, and we have some sort of like radius, like an elliptical radius with 2 more dimensions. You know, there's a lot we can do here. The bones are all there. I've just been rushing toward getting this web app going without developing other stuff, and I just, if you're going to program something, build tools that are going to help you build stuff easier is all I can say. Don't just go for the throat. Anyways, so this is, you get the idea. That's what's going on over there. So this is my website. We even got an about page. Hey, look at that. Yeah, buddy, we got all kinds of fun stuff we're going to do one day. I want to show y'all a really cool model that I like a lot. Here's a good one. Trees of Paris by this fella. We only got 4,000 downloads. That's not nearly enough. I think this is really cool. And you can click on them. So this is a PLY file. PLY files honestly would probably suit my needs a little better for trying to represent data as a point cloud. And it's just so fast and rich, and I love it. I think it's very cool. Look at that. That's amazing. Let's download it. Boop, boop. What? Yeah, I'm logged in. Give me that file. I like it. I want it. Let me have it. Download, there it is. PLY original shirt. 6 megabytes, y'all, that's crazy. I'm producing like these that are fairly simple with 25 megs. Let's look at it. Extract all. Extract. So what I want to know about is like, oh, that's the French word for tree. That's pretty interesting. Alright, this is dumb. Let's take a look. Let's see what encoding this John is. It is ASCII legible to a point. It's got ASCII header you can read, but oh, it's got Japanese in there. It's not actually Japanese. This is a Japanese computer, so I bought this in Japan, so sometimes it misinterprets stuff. Also, I love Cat Assistant, y'all. Cat Assistant's a great program. My work would not be possible without them. Oh, that's sad. It didn't work. Why didn't it work? Oh, well, it's broken, y'all. I'm sorry. We'll get one of the others. Let's download the GLB. The GLTF will give us textures separate, and the GLB is a bin file where it's all together. We'll take a look at that. So I'll show y'all. So this is my Sketchfab, Clayton Bennett Sketchfab. Boop boop boop. We got some models up here. Here's like a really simple one that works best online. Again, these are big, heavy FBX files. FBX was bought by Autodesk from a Canadian company, Cadera, in 2006. And at that point, it was already using technology from the 90s. Like, it's not, it is not highfalutin. Oh. I mean, it's interesting, right? It just doesn't mean it's appropriate anymore. Like, what I'm really stoked on is something like Babylon, yes. Look how cool this is. If I could start building data models in this, oh man, look at that guy. Look at him. Look at him. Is it responding to me? I don't think it is. Wow. Wow, those are amazing. This is pretty cool stuff happening out there in the world. I'm just over here trying to finish my project. I just want, all this work to have meant something to somebody. We'll see how she goes. We'll see how she goes. I think it'd be really cool for studying the stock market. Like if you could have all 500 curves from the entire S&P 500 all at the same time, grouped by industry, then you could really easily just say like, boop. Oh, hey, that's the highest stock. oh hey, on this day, and you could have metadata shoved in there, and it could tell you all this extra information about what happened for that day of trading, and you had all that at your disposal all at the same time. I think that would be pretty sick. But there's other ways to do that. This is, we did with what we had. At the end of the day, this is, I'll show y'all some stuff under the hood here. So a lot of it is you're pulling in this USB, and then you're building up what do you need to make the point cloud, but the point cloud doesn't actually get made until create FBX. So this is what says, hey, this junk's going to be an FBX file. And it takes all the other junkaroo and it makes it an FBX. It doesn't have to be an FBX. It could be something else. And that's the most interesting part to me. Also, FBX doesn't have like letters. So these are lovingly made. One at a time. I'll show you that. Check it out. Backend alphanumeric character library. So if you take these points and you add them together, you get, let's see, reveal in File Explorer. There she is. A bracket. Let's look at another one. Oh, so number 9. There she is. And there's all these weird quirks for how to get the mesh to pop out right, so you have to go in a certain, not order, but like the way that they fit together matters, or else you won't get a nice looking number 9 over here. Is there a 9 we can look at? Where's my 9? Are any of these numbers 9s? There's one. There's my 9. There she is. Let's take a look. Alright. Last but not least, I'll show you a cool tool that I like. Let's see if I can get any classics going here. Boop, 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 10th classic. So these are some old GLBs. We do have a converter, so I make FBX and I can convert to GLB, but if they're too big, it doesn't work. The computer can't handle it. So this is an old one. I think this is less pretty. Also, these are back when we were doing just lines, no meshes so that the problem was if someone accidentally loaded in flash shade, then they can't read, and also things don't show up like this really. It looks pretty bad. But let's take that and let's go over here to Don McMurdy. Don McMurdy. Oh, that's his GitHub. Sorry, Don. Fuck it. Don McCurdy. I don't know how to say his name. GITF viewer. Great. Now let's take. This is what inspired me to do a web app. Among other things, I had a friend tell me, my cousin told me, he said do the web app, but seeing this is what said I want to make something like that. I want to make something like what Don McCurdy made. McCurdy. That'll help people. You know, if you got a GITF file, and GLTF file, and you don't know what to do with it. And again, it's not as good as local. I mean, this is speedy, quick. Woo! That's great. But over here, I mean, this is not the same, but that's okay. It is what it is. Display, wireframe, always. Always wireframe. Oop. And let's change our environment to Venice sunset. Why not? Will it? I don't think it will. Put our exposure up. So Blender tools. Blender's an interesting one. Our day will come. So the letters break sometimes when you look at them in different viewers. Also, this is why we had to redesign a lot of the letters, was because this was happening. So there was temptation to import the Python BPY module, and then just use the Blender lettering and just apply that systematically. But I'm glad we didn't, because you can't import the BPY module onto Vercel. It will not do it. Cool. Alright, well, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate your time. This has been the Pavlov Project.